NBA All-Star Weekend, an event that was created back in 1984 when the NBA beforehand only had the All-Star Game, which evolved over the decades and since has become one of the most iconic events during the NBA season. We had many legendary moments where we saw players fly, we saw many prove that they can shoot out of the gym and win a contest in nothing but a warm-up suit, and we had moments where the league honored players and said goodbye to those who walked away from the game. There was a time where the All-Star Weekend was one of the most cherished moments in the NBA. In recent memory, 2020 was one of the most memorable ones, as it was the celebration of the life of the late Kobe Bryant, and we had one of the most competitive All-Star games of all time that went right down to the wire. 2022 was the 75th anniversary of the NBA, and we had celebrated the players of the past, present, and the future, and gave legends their flowers. But now, in today's modern NBA, it has now become something of a mockery, and many fans and players voice their opinions and their disdain for what All-Star Weekend has become.
Is this All-Star game fixable?
They need to do away with All-Star Weekend. No defense, no effort whatsoever. This is the ultimate indictment against the NBA stars who show up on NBA All-Star Weekend. And you don't care to compete? Why should we watch?
It's not even competitive. It's a YMCA game, except less competitive.
Yeah, it's terrible. And it didn't always used to be this bad. It's not even that exciting.
The dunk contest, Stephen A. When you and I were growing up, you covered the league, the dunk contest closed it. What you need to do is move it out. It's run its course.
Yeah, I think the All-Star game in general needs a little revamping because it used to be competitive.
Yeah.
It used to be competitive, and fans want to see the best pickup game in the world. I mean, you guys play harder at a pickup game in UCLA.
It was safe to say that the All-Star Weekend was not as amazing as it used to be, and people have grown a level of dislike as to what the league was heading towards as far as quality and entertainment value. Formats were changing, voting was becoming a problem, ceremonies being held for a literal people were starting to forget how great something like this used to be. So with that, I ask you this question. What season do you believe had the greatest All-Star Weekend in NBA history? There are many years to choose from, as the All-Star Weekend has spanned across over 40 years. For the older generation, their answers could be 1992, where we saw the return of Magic Johnson, who had his iconic All-Star MVP performance. 1988, where we saw a battle of titans with Dominique Wilkins and Michael Jordan going head-to-head in a slam dunk contest. For the younger generation, some of their answers could be 2001, where the East All-Stars had a 21-point comeback, the largest in All-Star game history. 2003, where we saw Michael Jordan play his final All-Star game as he was in his final year in the NBA and put on a show one last time and passed the torch to his successor. Or 2011, where we saw a young up-and-coming superstar jump over a literal car to win the dunk contest and stamped his name in the books as one of the most electrifying dunkers in history. All of these answers would be correct, as they had a specific reason as to why they are all the best. There was a moment in each that meant something special, but what if I told you that there was one that had all of these moments and had the spectacle, the hype, the emotion? That one year is, of course,
try not to use it. Curry, way downtown, bang! Half-court heave, a prayer at the buzzer. Oh! 58 points, and the Lakers lead.
The 2015-16 season for the NBA had a lot of iconic moments that are too many to count, and many believe that this is when the NBA was at its apex. And during this time, there was a lot that was going on at the time. The Golden State Warriors were on a hunt for the most wins in NBA history, and they were dominating the NBA with ease, and they were led by Stephen Curry, who completely took over the NBA and marked himself as one of the best players in the world. The Cavaliers were on their road to revenge after the loss they suffered in 2015, and LeBron and Kyrie were out for blood and were on a quest to get their first title to the city of Cleveland. The San Antonio Spurs were one of the best teams in the NBA and were undefeated at home with 28 games straight and were led by one of the greatest dynasties of our time. And the Raptors were having the best year in their franchise history and were hosting the All-Star Weekend for the first time in their franchise's history. But quite possibly, the biggest story that took over the NBA at the time was the fact that one of the greatest to ever play was saying goodbye to the game of basketball.
Basketball superstar Kobe Bryant announcing his retirement last night, saying this season, his 20th in the NBA, will be his last.
This season is all I have left to give. My heart can take the pounding. My mind can handle the grind. But my body knows it's time to say goodbye.
I just had to accept the fact that I don't want to do this anymore. You know, and I'm okay with that. I honestly feel good about it. I really do. I mean, I really feel at peace with it. And excited for what's to come, honestly.
A legend. The greatest to ever play for the city of Los Angeles, and the league's priority was now to honor and celebrate the 20 years that Kobe Bryant played, and everyone was going to get a chance to honor him and say their goodbyes to Kobe Bryant at the All-Star Game, as he was the leading vote getter to be a part of the All-Star Game, and at the time making it the most All-Star selections for a player ever. So there were a lot of storylines that were heading into this All-Star weekend, and with the biggest being Kobe's retirement. So now we arrive at Toronto with the first event on Friday being the Rising Stars game. This would be the game where the best rookies and sophomores will play against each other and showcase their talents on the biggest stage. Some of the best players over the years participated in this event and went on to being some of the greatest to ever play the game. The 2015 rookie class at the time had some pretty amazing players. Karl Anthony Towns, who was the first overall pick of the NBA draft during that year and was playing like the rookie of the year. D'Angelo Russell for the Los Angeles Lakers, who was also having a solid year for himself. Kristaps Porzingis, who shocked everybody and was the most underrated pickup during that draft for the New York Knicks, and Devin Booker, who was also having a solid rookie year for the Phoenix Suns. And in this game, it was a pretty solid game that would go right down to the wire, with Team USA winning against Team World, and Zach LaVine would walk away with the MVP, and showcasing how much he developed after 2015, and showing everyone that he was not just a dunker, and he had the potential to be a future All-Star in the NBA. And that would not be the last time we would see Zach LaVine during the All-Star weekend, which we then arrived to Saturday night. And this was one of the best parts of the All-Star weekend, as it had 3 different events that catered to players' skills, with the first being the skills competition, and the contestants were not just guards, but also big men to make things more interesting. This competition was very fun, as we saw many players compete against each other and showing that they were better than them in certain aspects, and it went right down to the wire between Isaiah Thomas and Karl Anthony Towns, with Cat winning the entire match and showing that big men are just as skilled when it comes to passing, dribbling, and shooting. The next competition was the three-point contest, which has become a staple in the NBA's culture, with the three-point shot becoming revolutionized and becoming a weapon to use against opposing teams. And we had a special competition right before the main event. It was between Kevin Hart and Draymond Green. That was unexpected.
Oh, we never got to that now, did we? Oh, this is good stuff. That's why he put all his money balls right here.
I'll take that bet.
Okay.
I'll bet you.
Okay, if you lose, you gotta go ice skate. This is his best spot. He's missed both of them. That's his best spot.
Let me get it.
He's gonna make another. This kid is all right. Yeah, he's all right.
All right for what?
Beat this guy, man. He's gonna beat this guy. He's gonna beat this guy. He's not gonna beat him, man. He's got it. Shut your mouth, kid.
Draymond, here's your trophy. What? And Kevin, here is your ribbon. Wait a minute.
Why did I get a trophy?
You didn't win.
I didn't win.
You did not win.
I won in spirit.
Okay, so now we actually get to the three-point contest, and it had the reigning champ from 2015, Stephen Curry, who already proved that he was the best shooter in the NBA and in NBA history, looking to reclaim his title. But he also had to go through his teammate, Klay Thompson, who was a part of the Splash Brothers duo and was also one of the best shooters in the NBA. And we would get a classic shootout between the Splash Brothers. Klay would end up winning the entire competition and beat Steph and remain supreme as the best Splash Brother, at least for now. But the last one would cap off the entire night with the dunk contest. A match that over the years has had amazing dunkers show off their athleticism and win the trophy. Many did things that people thought were impossible, and over the years before this one, it had a bit of a rough patch. But Zach LaVine in 2015 would revive the event and shock the world with his creativity and was looking to go back to back. But he was met with another challenger that would turn into the greatest duel between NBA athletes.
Jackson. Okay. In that mascot. This is possible. Okay, We're going to see.
I think you just went back to back.
We quite possibly witnessed the greatest dunk contest in NBA history. To this day, people debate on who should have won between Gordon and Levine. That is how legendary that event was. With Saturday night capping off with an amazing night, all that was left was the All-Star game. And it was indeed a special one considering who was playing. Many players from the East and the West were greeted with cheers and applause, and we saw future superstars get their first nod at being an All-Star. But there was one player that everyone came to watch for one last time.
And this year's leading vote-getter, an 18-time Western Conference All-Star, with the Los Angeles Lakers, Kobe Bryant!
I just want to thank you guys for all of your support for all these years, and it's a thrill for me to be here in this All-Star game. So thank you for voting me in, and I get a chance to be around these young players here. And now I got to go get loose. Thank you.
Durant sets Anthony. Here comes Lowry of the Raptors. Nicely pass and Westbrook. Oh! Kobe against LeBron. There are probably not too many more times we're going to be able to say that.
The choose of winners. Kobe shows us he has to be dramatic with everything. He gives us some show and has us cheering. Y'all just trying to see him just trying to dunk on me. He gonna lay it up at the end. He just trying to dunk on me, Craig.
Raptors just 3 games behind the Cavs. Happens to Wentz. Off the backboard. To it. By the east of Paul George being 1 point away. Oh!
What a well-deserved moment. One of many for the Mamba.
This year's Kia MVP award winner, Russell Westbrook from the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Toronto's been great. All the guys have been great. Happy to be a part of Kobe's last game, man. Just honored to win it again.
The All-Star Weekend might be on a decline. It may have fans who do not enjoy watching it anymore due to its quality and its effort in drawing people in. But there was a time where the All-Star Game and the All-Star Weekend as a whole used to have that feeling, a magical feeling. And 2016 may have been the peak of it all. We have had many moments before and after that felt amazing, but nothing comes close to this. The 2016 All-Star Weekend did a lot of things that we will never see again. It made us tune in to see the next generation. It made us laugh until we were out of breath. It made us look in awe at what we were witnessing. It made us feel grateful to see many players in their prime play at such a high level. And last but not least, it also made us cry as we were saying goodbye to a legend. And that is what made this the greatest All-Star Weekend in NBA history.
Kobe, the road has come to an end. You've been an unbelievable mentor to me.
Thank you for everything you've done for this league. Because of you, it's the reason why I play so hard.
There's not a lot of guys who come around like Kobe. The game is gonna miss you.
I'm just proud to be your friend, be your brother.
Kobe, you did all you could for the game and being a champion forever. A walking legend, man, we appreciate you.
Kobe Bean, salute my brother.
When the end comes, I'm fine with that. Then you take on that challenge, right?